What's going on, everyone? It's Nick with Us versus Herd. If you're here right now, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get connected to the UVH fam, links are below to our Discord, along with our free option trading group on Facebook. If you're here right now, say what up. Just getting going over here, seeing what's going on. Market was a little crazy today. We have the Dow, or the S&P is currently down 39 or 40. I'm looking at the futures here. Dow down 374 and NASDAQ down 72. Keith got paid. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Yo, J Rob, Keith, what's going on? How you guys doing today? How you guys living? It's Tuesday. We're getting things going. So I didn't go live yesterday. I actually wasn't around. I did post some swing positions. Aaron, how you doing? So I'm gonna go through that. I had some swing positions on yesterday. I only opened 2 trades yesterday. I didn't have anything closed yesterday. I was out and about all day, so I didn't live stream or post my trades. However, I did post them in the Discord. What if you lost money but you didn't learn anything? Stop trading immediately. Yo, Jeff, what's going on? How you guys doing? Rocking it. All right, so let's kind of get in. Let's get into it. Kind of like the title. I actually was 100% for my day trades, and I was 0% win rate today for my swing trades. Derek, what's going on? School is in session. So yeah, going back. So kind of show you what I did yesterday. And let me put on here so we can start covering. So yesterday I placed a strangle on Alibaba. That was going well. I also bought calls on GLD, and that was going fine. So I bought a Baba strangle for 335. I had the 167.50 puts and the 172.50 calls. And I actually sold the Baba puts for $29 loss today. So I bought them for 335. I sold them for 306. I sold them 2 minutes into open. Yo, Manny, what's up? And the reason why I sold that strangle is at the time. So when I sold the strangle on Baba, so 2 minutes into close, I bought it yesterday at, when did I buy it yesterday? 9:14 a.m. So yesterday at 9:14 a.m. So I was right in here. You know, we caught the down move pretty good. I probably should have closed it before the end of the day, but I held it into a swing position. I'm like, okay, I have a strangle. I'll hold it up. I was up 10% on it, so it wasn't anything big. However, I closed it for like down 8%, so I gave some back. The reason why I closed it out is because the market was kind of up. Dow was up 100 at open. And this was before the manufacturing report came out. So I'm like, all right, well, as you can see here, Alibaba started up at like 168, came down to 166, was shooting back up. It was shooting back up. I'm like, okay, this can really spring to like 170. Looks like there's a lot of bullish momentum in the stock market right now. As you can see, like NVDA, SPY was bouncing, Netflix was bouncing. So I'm like, all right, I'd rather lose the $29 and get out than Yo, FC, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. I got my eyes, I'm wearing these glasses because my eyes been bothering me for the screen. I have great vision, 20/20 vision. Don't need glasses at all, but getting in my older age here appears that I need some glasses for the screens. So I was like, okay, I'd rather lose the $20 and realign. The one thing is I was actually down only like $2 on Baba at one point, but it was hard to get out because Baba was moving so fast. And then also I got out of GLD because we tanked. We gapped down at open. It looked like it was heading lower at open. It was down below 138. So I'm like, okay. So I took a 50% loss on GLD, $2 and then 53 cents. So for me, swing trades haven't really been paying because I was like I said, I have a 0% win rate for my swing trades. However, if I were to hold those positions, So for me, I was down right at open for my swing positions, down $70. I'm like, okay, I'd rather come back from being a down position from $70 being down like 200 or 300, right? If this thing really starts to go against me, because you can always realign your positions. You can always Joshua, crazy. Spy got me today. Thought I bounced back. Hey Nick, what do you think about Alta shooting up so much? Yeah, I'll get to Alta. Yeah, Alta's crazy. But Baba, if I were to held that, so that manufacturing report came out where we had the slowest growth in a decade, which caused GLD to rip up, and GLD actually I closed them out for 53-cent loss. If I look at GLD here, GLD, I had the what did I have? 139 calls. Yeah, I had the 139 calls. I sold them down here like a noob. Sold them down here. I sold them for 53 cents. Bottom of the day is 47 cents, and then they went up to $1.60. Just ridiculous. but I didn't know that. That's the thing. You always have to realign your risk for what's going on in the market. Like for me, I thought, okay, without news, we're gonna be running up, and the only reason why we tanked today is because of the manufacturing data. So I think I made the right decision. Even though I lost some money, I was able to get back into a winning position due to the day. So I'm up $102. So I was down $70 within the first 2 minutes of the day for my swing positions. I closed today up $102. So I guess it's a $168 swing in the right direction. However, I think that I'll be chilling on the swing trades for a bit, because it seems like my accuracy on the swing trades aren't as good, and that's kind of the thing. You always have to readjust your strategy, what works, what doesn't work. Sometimes, I was hitting swing trades left and right last year, and this year I haven't been doing that great with swing trading. So, I mostly was swing trading all last year, and this year I haven't really been swing trading. I've mostly just been day trading, just because that's where I've been profitable at. FC swung GDX and sold this morning 8 a.m. Nice. Yeah, couldn't have guessed the manufacturing data. Shout to the old guys. J Rob, what's up? But yeah, if I were to held my Baba, let's see, the Baba I sold for 306, and Baba I had the 167.50 put, and the one, yeah, this closed at 367. However, Baba did go down. It's up $1.50 from where it was. So Baba, those 167.50s. Yeah, these went up to 451. So could have got like about $1 more for where it's at now. So these went up to like 450. These went to like 450 or so. And I closed the string went to 450. I closed it out for 306. So, you just gotta be careful. I've been playing Baba. Keep in mind that we're supposed to be meeting October 7th with China, which is on Monday. So we're supposed to be meeting on October 7th with China for a discussion, not necessarily a trade deal. If you don't mind me asking, is it worth it full time, or would you go back to 9 to 5 trade on the side? Listen, Dutch King, I've spent my entire life getting out of the 9 to 5. I would never recommend to anybody to go into the 9 to 5. Now, I do own my own business outside of trading. I do have other streams of income, but I would never recommend to somebody to get into the rat race. Jimbo, right up. If you're here right now, say what up. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Then goes into my day trades here. Day trades actually did pretty good. Clean this up a little bit for just my day trade. So NVDA, I didn't have that many trades today, but I hit my targets. NVIDIA, I had the 177.50 put, bought for $219 at 9:05, and then within an hour I sold it for like $1 more on NVIDIA. And the reason why I was basically this morning, after that manufacturing report came out, I bought a put on NVIDIA and I bought a put on Apple, and the main reason for that is because these are running hard. These are running hard at open, and then the manufacturing data came out, and I bought a put right in here. So at 9:05, so right at the start of this candle here, it was giving me a hard time. I thought we were gonna revisit the lows of it, like 175, 174 area, and we did. I did sell because I was up 40% on the position. So I've only been looking to get between 30 to 40%, 20 to 40% on my day trades. I don't like to try to get the whole thing. I'm more focused on repetitive gains versus trying to get this whole thing. Like, I'm not going to try to take this whole thing short. I'm just trying to get like a little piece of it, and then I could try again, and I could try again if I want to. In this case, today I didn't try again because I was actually done trading by noon, and I exited. I just was like, peace out, I'm out of here. You know, so NVIDIA, the other thing is on the 1 year chart, it kept hitting 180. It did go to 181 today, exactly to the penny. 181 was the high of the day. This is where it topped out, and it just couldn't push. It hasn't been able to push above 180. Was another reason why I wanted to get short on NVIDIA. And then Apple, I had a smaller trade, but Apple was kind of causing me problems today, which is why I got out of it. I sold it for, what did I sell it for? Let me look in the Discord here. If you guys aren't in the Discord, I do post all my trades in here. So if you guys are in the Discord, I'll kind of show you what that looks like. I have my own little, I guess they call it a channel, and I do post all my trades in here. You can go back as far as you want, but it's kind of like a running blog of my trades. So yeah, I grabbed 30% on Apple. Let's go to, so yeah, I bought the, oh, my phone's going off. I bought the 225 puts for $1.50, sold them for $1.98. I bought them at 9:07. I sold it for at 11:11. So this was sort of my last trade, kind of closing it out. So I bought it at 9:07 on the breakdown here. I thought we were going to kind of continue to go lower because we were moving up pretty fast, but I guess I didn't anticipate Apple's strength. I mean, Apple still is in a very bullish pattern here on the 1 year, and it still wanted to go up. And it actually started to recover. I'm like, okay, if it breaks high of day today, I'm just gonna close it out, and I'll go trade something else, and I'll come back later. But thankfully, you know, this high, then we have this lower high, and then once this was confirmed, I just held on till 11:11, and then we had this breakdown here from 226 to 225.50, and that's when I sold right in here. You know, could have made a little bit more money on it. I mean, these Apple puts right now, the 225s, I mean, I sold them for $1.98. Wouldn't have gotten that much money. You know, I don't like to just like bag hold and hang on. So I got $1.98. These are only worth, they went up to like 247, 249. They're only worth 30 cents more right now. So in my opinion, not really worth it. Yo, PB, what's going on? In my opinion, not really worth it to the risk. You know, in this case, I'm glad that I took the money. You know, I could have made, what's $30 more, and then you increase your risk because what if this dropped and then popped back up to 226, and then you're in a losing position again. So that's why in day trading, you really need to be disciplined in locking in your gains. I mean, I know that today was a big day, but Apple still closed green on the day. Even though we had Dow down over 300, we had more than a 1% down day on the S&Ps, and then, but Apple's remained strong with their upgrades. JPM Morgan upgraded them. Their new iPhones. You know, Tim Cook says that their sales are good within the first few days or whatever. They do have lower cost iPhones. So if you're here right now, say what up. Aaron blew my small account 1,500 to 720. Followed a few of your strategies the past couple of weeks and brought it back to 1,200. Watch your position sizing with crap companies. Nice. Glad I was able to help you out there, man. JJ, what's up? Appreciate you. Glad you guys are joining in on the live stream today. Happy Tuesday. Another one of my trades. So then my last trade of the day was actually Square. could have made a little bit more money on Square, but I didn't want to be greedy. I only made about 15% on this. I bought the 62.50 puts and sold them for about $1.20, sold them for $1.39. And I was kind of thinking Square was another one that has been running. If you're looking at the 1 year, it's been trying to push up ever since hitting 55. It's been trying to break out of this lull that it's in. It's just been declining. It's been trying to bounce back. Obviously, we need to get above, like 63.50 for this to start being bullish. But I was under the impression today that we were going to kind of give some up yesterday. Yesterday ran pretty good. We were up 61 all the way up to 62. Today we were running again, but then it was getting real choppy. It was looking real weak to me where we started making lower highs. So then that's when I got in. So I got in at 10.49. So when it started breaking down right here at the 62.25 mark. So when it broke down here, I got in and I sold it at 11.18. So I just got out right in here. So I took the bulk of this move. I didn't capture this second move down here, but I did capture this. I did buy them in the money. And the reason why I bought them in the money was because they had higher deltas and the cost was relatively cheap. I bought them for $1.20 and I wanted those higher deltas for a quick day trade. These did go from 75 cents this morning at the highs here all the way up to $1.69. So really I could have only made, so I sold them for $1.39. I could have only made another 30 cents, 40 cents. So it's not really worth it. And that's why I like to sell these big candles, whether you have calls or puts. When you have big candles like this, IV really gets inflated and it causes the option pricing to really expand. And that's why you can take advantage of this move. That's why it kind of, even though it went lower, you didn't really get paid as much money in here because it was just kind of moving slow, and then it started to come down a little bit as it was just more stagnant. That darn $1 trillion tag on them may keep them up. Whew. I'm just kind of breezing through these trades right here. Alta. So I think someone in the chat here wanted to look at Alta. So Alta had insiders buying. I think the director or the CEO, someone bought like $58 million worth of shares. Boost the confidence. So we have pretty big reversal here. We should have definitely. I haven't been watching it. I did trade it on this down move down here, just based on retail getting crushed. But we should have, once it broke past 253, we should have put a position on. And that was our bad that we didn't. I know that FC and a couple other members were talking about it yesterday. Once it broke 253, we should have took a position on that. So I don't know if this is going to go all the way back up to where it was. I definitely think it might want to make a run at 300. We'll keep an eye. It might be a good strangle play. I mean, we had the calls. These calls were up like 14,000%, 800% on some of these calls. The one thing, actually, volume is pretty good. The one thing that you got to be concerned about here is the bid and the ask is a little bit wide for some of these. Some of these not bad. This is only 10 cents. It's only 10 cents. It's 10 cents. It's actually getting a lot better. Sometimes it gets a little hard to trade Alta because liquidity is an issue. So you definitely want to catch the move. So we'll see where this goes. Right now, I mean, this could definitely rebound. It's kind of looking like another reversal which we had last year when it hit down here like 224. Same exact thing last year, last December. Earnings fell apart. It wasn't as nearly as high, but pretty much the same impact here. It's consolidated for a little bit longer down here in like the 224, 225 area, but then it's been making pretty consistent pushes. And then once it broke this 253 area, I mean, we had. There's probably a lot of shorts covering too. I have to look at what the short ratio is on Alta. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but we can look that up and see what the percentage of shares are short, so we can kind of calculate if there's going to be some pain ahead for these short sellers on Alta. But yeah, I mean, all the movement today was at open. They just bought the open. This is where a swing position would work. You know, you don't really make that. I mean, you could have made a little bit of money from 262 to 266, but it was going to take a long time to get there and a lot of back and forth action when you could just made all your money at open. So, you know, I've been trying to stay disciplined and closing out my positions before noon. That way, I make my money. It doesn't force me into trades that are slow like this. Like this would definitely have been some slow trading. Apple in the afternoon would have been some slow trading. Actually, Netflix looks pretty good today in the afternoon. But most times, like based on my success rate, I've definitely identified that I make better returns in the morning versus the afternoon. So why not just take the afternoon off? Get all your trades done in the morning, take the afternoon off, and enjoy the rest of your day. Do what you need to do. Make some UVH videos. You know, I'm obviously not gone from my computer. Like I'm always watching the market, but I'm not looking to actively manage a position in the afternoon. I think it's going to be a pretty bearish week, in my opinion. Do we have any good news to look forward to in the markets? The only thing that I think, Aaron, is potential trade news with China. Like I said, that's going to happen October 7th. We're supposed to be meeting with China. They don't, you know, their discussions are supposed to resume. Really means nothing. But we'll see what happens. I don't think China wants to get squeezed. U.S. doesn't want to get squeezed. However, I do think the U.S. can kind of wait it out longer. However, unless Trump gets a little nervous here and wants to make a deal to save the market. But honestly, like my opinion, where we are in the market right now, I don't know if a trade deal would actually for the long term. I'm not talking about like tomorrow or anything or next week. For the long term, I think we're in trouble because we're in the same holding pattern we have been. You know, we're a little bit higher here, but you know, a year ago we're at the same price we were a year ago before the market fell apart in last October. So, you know, I think overall we're in danger. And then if we have bad reports coming out like manufacturing data, I know that we have this week. I don't know if you guys watched my video on Sunday. I kind of posted what to watch out for this week. On Friday, I believe we have unemployment and jobs numbers on Friday for September. So, you know, it's gonna turn up. So we'll see what their reports are. Obviously, Trump was blaming the Fed. As I predicted, Jay Powell and the Federal Reserve have allowed the dollar to get so strong, especially relative to all other currencies, that our manufacturers are being negatively affected. You know, at the end of the day, you can blame who you want to blame. You can blame the Fed. You can blame the trade deal. You can blame the president. You can blame whoever you want to blame. But at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers. So like when Trump is online complaining about things, it doesn't really matter. What matters are what the numbers are in terms of trading. You know, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, vegan, whatever the case is. The numbers are the numbers, you know, and that's why trading, you can't really be biased. Like if you're like, you know, very anti-Trump, you can't really be biased because, you know, we've had a great bull run. However, in 2018, we did end up the year red. So we ended up, you know, 5% red last year. So we're currently up. I think we were up like 20%. We're now up like 19%, which can all be given up. As you guys can see, like last year we were up, you know, we were up big, and then we just gave it all up at the end of the year. So Q4 was crazy last year. You know, people made a lot of money, people lost a lot of money. You know. Any stocks you guys want to look at based on what I kind of covered what I wanted to cover. You know, like I said, I'm not going to be looking to swing trade that much because of my track record with swing trading, and I'm just adjusting my flow. I have been doing some swing trades pretty much every week, and every week it has not been going too well for me. So I had to day trade my way out of the swing trade losses. It has made me learn some kung fu. PB Tesla, you got it. Tesla was another tricky one today. You know, people. One thing that I want to say about like Tesla and those stocks that went up today, people, it's hard to understand why is a stock going up when the Dow's down 300. We have all this bad news. You know, at the end of the day, yeah, J Rob, trade the chart. You got to trade the numbers. You got to trade the numbers on the screen. You don't trade with emotion. You don't trade with whether you're a Republican or Democrat or rich or poor, whatever the case is. You trade. You just trade the numbers on the screen. So looking at Tesla, Tesla has been after 240. It's been holding 240. One thing to be aware of Tesla is there's Elon and Tesla are supposed to report their Q3 numbers like any day. I don't know what days. It might be tonight, might be tomorrow. So that's why people are loading up, because they had that last week. They had the leaked email on Tesla saying, hey, we have the potential to break 100K vehicles in Q3. However, we don't know if that happened. So they're going to release an actual report on what their vehicle deliveries were in Q3. And that's really what we're waiting for right here. So that's what the big pop was last week. And it's continued to run. It wanted to run, but the market hasn't allowed it to run. So somebody big loaded up right in here. As you can see, the volume skyrocketed to high a day here. Someone loaded up big and bought some stock from 240, went up to 245 almost, and right now it's just trying to break out of range. If this does break like 248, we can definitely have a gap filled to 260. Yo, Daniel, what's going on? Yeah, PB. I think Tesla is gonna try to make a reversal. It's been declining. It's been declining since last December. It makes push ups, but it can't. And it really needs to break this trend here. We really need to break like 265 area for it to kind of push forward. But it kept making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs until we got down to sub 200. So, Daniel, what's going on? Aaron, Disney. Disney, the only thing Disney has going on right now is Disney Plus is supposed to be coming out in like 40 days. And right now, I think people are getting nervous of this potential gap fill here. Like I said a couple days ago, Disney really hasn't had any stock growth in 5 years until we just had earnings and we popped up over here due to Disney Plus and all the things that they have going on. Then they had pretty good earnings, and they've pretty much been trading in a very tight range of 130 and 140 for the most part. Yes, it did break above and break below, but right now I think it's very important to watch this 130 level. I'm definitely watching this here. If it breaks 125, 120, I'll say the 127 to 123 area, we could potentially gap fill. However, I think Disney for the long term, I think is undervalued. Like I said, it hasn't had any stock growth in 5 years, and Disney Plus is what's going to help it transition into more of a tech company versus an entertainment company. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch Disney grow into that. Short term for options trading, we got to be concerned about this though. This could easily flush to 120, very easily. Very easily. People bag holding up here, because what happens when a stock goes like this? Every Robinhood trader comes and says, "Hey, there's Disney Plus coming out. We gapped up." They start getting like the Bitcoin FOMO, right? Where they're like, "Oh, I want to join in. I want to join in. I want to join in." Eventually, it stops going up, and then the bags start getting heavy, and then people start to lose confidence in the stock. So Disney really hasn't had any news out yet. It's probably going to rip up again once Disney Plus is having some positive news, and they can say, hey, in the first month we had X amount of signups in the quarter. So in January, in Q4, when they report their Q4 earnings, I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what those Disney Plus numbers are. That's going to be big. That's going to be a big thing for Disney as a company, because it's a brand new product, brand new service. It's either gonna succeed or it's gonna fail. Obviously it could have a slow start too. Like it could have a slow start to signups. I don't think that's the case because it's so cheap, but they could have a slow start. You don't know until it actually comes out. People start buying it and talking about it on Facebook and Twitter and everything. You don't really know if the service is any good. We just know what their catalog is, and obviously the other thing is nobody can really compete with their catalog. Nobody has Disney's catalog. They've been pulling their licensing from Netflix and all these other places to bring their catalog in-house for the last 3 years. So now that we're at the point where they're about to launch their own service with their own catalog, and then original shows, I mean, I think long term, I think the stock is going to do fine. Short term, I think we could potentially be feeling some pain here. However, it could bounce from here back up to like the 140s. But like I said, I think it needs it needs a catalyst. And right now, it really has no news until Disney Plus comes out. McDonald's. So McDonald's is doing pretty well. The one thing about McDonald's is, like, I don't want to say it's recession proof, but it's one of those stocks that people buy during a recession because people are eating out. However, I don't think necessarily McDonald's is like that cheap anymore. I mean, it's cheap food, but it's actually not like super cheap. But excuse me, that's my opinion. No, I definitely would see what happens here at like the 207 area where it's bounced before. I mean, today was obviously a disaster. Definitely got crushed. So if you weren't in on this, I mean, you basically missed the initial move, the gap down, and then the ultimate when it opened the first 15 minutes, we just dropped. But it really didn't do anything after that, you know. Yeah, all the banks got screwed up. Yeah, I mean, we have puts here up 500%, 700%, so it's definitely outside the expected move. I mean, that's definitely a big, $5 is a big move for McDonald's, which is kind of interesting because this had a very, very clean bullish momentum here, and it just, crapped the bed. So, if this video was of value to you guys, I'm trying to keep the live stream to like 30 minutes or so. PB, I traded in 50 minutes, 15-minute increments. I'm trying to keep these videos. I do post my watch list videos at 9 p.m. Central as well. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Like I said, if you want to continue the discussion, I'm always in the Discord. I'm always on Facebook. So hit the links in the description. Would really appreciate it. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.